So today we are going to start the centralization of administration server in Unix environment or Linux environment. That is, the concept is called NIS. In Windows Active Directory Domain Services, which is the backbone of Windows Server administration. Centralization of administration of your network environment. So NIS stores information of a users, systems, applications in a central location. So they must be able to access and communicate across the network. For example, if there is no centralized network, so for example, I can take one system. I created a user account Ali. So first day he come into the first system, he logged in, he worked. So next day somebody is sitting on that computer, they are working. But Ali's data is there in first computer. So then what he has to do, he has to go for another system. Again, we are going to create Ali account. Again, he has to log in. So he has to share the files and copy the files like this. That is the work group environment, means individual environment. So if the user wants to work on 10 computers, you have to create on all 10 computers, 10 user accounts with the same name. But now I am going to configure a centralized administration server. I can configure all the users account in a central location in one server, that is called NIS. So then whatever the systems are located in my network from any client, they can give their username and they can log into the server. This is centralized login. Today you can log in from first system. Tomorrow you can log in from 10th system. Day after tomorrow you can log in from second system. Like that, the user can log in from any system in the network which is a client of NIS server to the centralized server. He can work. All the users work centralizedly located on NIS, NIS centralized server. So whenever they can log into their server, they can access the same data. So this is the centralization of network. So not only users information, applications also centralizedly can locate on one server. From client sides, you can access the application centralizedly, and the networks information and protocols information, everything we can store on the centralized location. That is nothing but a NIS server. The NIS information is stored in files or maps or database tables. So how the NIS information stores? If anybody asks you a question, NIS information stores like a files or maps. NIS maps we can call as a NIS maps. So those maps also we can also call as a NIS database files or database tables. What is the structure of NIS network? The structure of NIS network is master server and slave server. Like DNS also we are having master DNS, slave DNS. Like NIS also. The center of NIS network is master server. The master server contains the information of NIS maps. Just now we discussed NIS stores the information like NIS files or maps. So all the NIS maps information stores on the master server when you set up your NIS server, master server. The NIS administrator can create and update the maps. So who can create the maps? NIS administrator only can set up the NIS maps. Nothing but a Linux administrator. The updates must be made up only on master server. So whatever the updates you want to do on the servers, NIS, you can do only on master server. Now what is the work of slave server? In addition to master server, you can create the backup server. So this server is also called as NIS slave server. So just it will take the load of the master server. If there is any high load on the master server, so the slave server can take the load of the master server. So in general scenarios in Unix environment or Linux environment, every 70 systems, they will configure one slave server. Every 70 systems. So whenever you configure the slave server, all the NIS maps from NIS master will be transferred to slave server. So already we discussed NIS master contains the information of NIS maps. So when you configure slave server, all the NIS map files copy from master to slave when you set up the slave server. Now, daemons of NIS master server. YP serve, YP bind, YP XFRD, YP pass WDD. These are the daemons on master server. So interview point of view, they will ask what are the daemons of NIS master server in Linux. YP serve, YP bind, YP pass WDD, YP XFRD. What is the work of YP serve? They will ask the question. So this daemon is the NIS database lookup server. It maintains a local database lookup maps. So NIS database lookup maps is maintained by YP serve daemon. What is the work of YP bind? The binding process that run on all clients that are set up to use NIS. So this daemon can run all the systems, whether it is master server, whether it is a slave server, whether it is the clients, it will run all the systems to set up to use NIS. What is YPXFRD? This daemon provides high speed map transfers from NIS master to slave server. Next, YP pass WDD. This daemon handles password change requests of NIS users. So whatever the NIS users, they are changing their passwords, automatically it will update. Now what are the daemons of slave server? Daemons on slave server is YP serve, YP bind. What is the daemon on client? YP bind. So these things you have to remember. Simply you have to explain. Purpose of NIS server provides the centralization of administration. It stores the information of users, systems, and applications on a centralized location. What is the structure of NIS network? Master and slave server. What is master server? It is the main server in the network. It stores all the NIS maps. The updates must be on the master server. What about slave server? In addition to master server, we can configure the backup server. It will take the load of the master server. So simply give the answers. So what are the daemons on master server? YP serve, YP bind, YP XF, RD, YP pass WDD. What is YP bind? Maybe they will not ask sequentially. Whatever it may be, they will ask. What is the work of YP XFRD? This daemon provides high-speed map transfers. What is YP bind? It runs on all the systems to set up to use NIS. Like this, you have to give the answers. Now, what are the slave daemons? YP server and YP bind. What is the client daemon? YP bind. Now going to set up NIS server. So configuration of NIS master server. Log into the Linux system. See, for every server configuration, you must to remember the requirements, especially in Linux interviews. They will ask the requirements. First, they will ask the question, what are the requirements? First, about the tell me the requirements of the server configuration. So, what are the requirements? Now we are going to see NIS master server setup. Requirements are first RPMs, YP serve, YP bind, and YP-tools. Port number of NIS is 111. So there is no configuration file here. NIS files maps location. NIS files location or maps, whatever it may be, technical word. Which directory? Var/var/YP directory. So already we discussed about daemons. So YP serve, YP bind, RPM serve, YP serve, YP bind, YP tools. Port number of NIS is 111. NIS files location is var YP directory. Now, first to check the packages. RPM space -QA YP star. YP bind is there, YP tools is there, but main server, main package is not there. That is ypserv. Install the package ypserv. So rpm space hyphen ivh ypserv. Sorry, mount the DVD. So if you have the M, you can use the M server. rpm space hyphen ivh ypserv. Install the package. So first step, going to configure NIS master server, you have to set up the NIS domain name. So open the configuration file, setting up NIS domain name etc sysconfig/network, where we configured our IP address permanently, our host name permanently in this file. Open that file, va space /etc/sysconfig/network. Now here you have to write down NIS domain equal to capital letters, check the spelling mistakes. NIS domain equal to India.com. Whatever the DNS domain name you used, same domain name only you have to use. NIS domain equal to India.com. Save the file. So now to check the domain name of the system, command is domain name. So domain name nothing is there, just now we configured. If you want to permanent it, you have to restart the system. So without restarting, how to permanent the domain name is service ypserv start. So here see setting NIS domain name India.com. Now check the domain name. So now domain name is India.com. First step is completed. Now second step, so create the user accounts. So I am creating the user accounts under Oracle. You can create on anywhere. But example purpose, user add -d /Oracle/NIS1 I am giving -m NIS1. One user only I am creating. You can create multiple users. passwd NIS1. So assign the password. So after assigning the password, start the service yp pass wdd. So it will update the passwords. Service yp pass wdd start. So this service is started. Now, so what is the concept here? The use means the user home directory should be mounted on the particular system where they are logging. So whenever they have to mount their own home directory, that home directory we have to share across the LAN. Then only where they are logging, they automatically it will mount. So now share the user's home directory. So sharing means immediately have to remember NFS. Open the file va/etc/exports. Now I am removing all our old shares. So I want to share Oracle. Star means any system, any network who practiced NFS properly, they can understand easily. Otherwise, you can see the NFS notes, you can practice. Oracle star, Oracle space, star, read rate, comma, sync. Sync means online synchronization. Now save the file. Now export the share. Service NFS start. So now check the exported list. Show mount space -e. So /Oracle is exported by our server 18. So star means any network, any system can access the share or completed. So far what we did, we installed the package ypserv, we set up the NIS domain name, we permanented it. So we created one user account and we start the service yp pass wdd and we export the user's home directory. We not yet set up NIS master server. By setting up NIS master server, to set up NIS master server, so whatever the prerequisite steps are there, we completed so far. Now you are going to set up the NIS master server. So go to var yp directory. Always you have to run the master command, master server or slave server setup in this directory only. So ls. So before going to configure NIS master, check the information here. Binding directory is there, make file nicknames are there. After configuration, again check the files and directories here. You can see the difference. Now, to setting up master server, the command is you have to run /usr lib64 /yp YP init, YP means yellow pages. Yellow pages means centralized, you can have one book, you can have the complete information. So based on that, they developed NIS. So YP init space -m. M means master server. The set, what is, they will ask the question, what is the command to set up the NIS master server? /usr /lib64/yp/yp init -m. M means master server. So by default itself, it is a master server. It recognizes your IP address. Server 18 is the master server, is going to be set up. D for Delhi. So the current list of NIS servers look like this. Server 18, is this correct? Yes. Press enter. Here you can see the changes. Pass WD, by name, by UID, group by name, by G. These are the files. Pass WD file, group file, hosts file, by name, by address. So every file stores like two columns, name and IDs. If it is if it is users file, user ID, group file, group ID. If it is host file, name and address. RPC, remote process call, name and number. Services, name and service name. Like that, every file stores like a two columns. Now server 18 has been set up as a NIS master server. So where the NIS map files are located, this path. Now we are in the var YP directory. Give the command ls. Now see, this directory is created newly. This file is created newly. So before configuration, after configuration, this is the difference. Now go to india.com directory. Now give the command ls. So you can check the NIS files, database files, or NIS maps. So you can check whether the file type files, for example, what I am checking, pass WD by name. To check the type of file, file name. So this is the NDBM database. So these are the database files or maps, NIS map lookups, whatever it may be. So now NIS master server successfully configured. Now stop the firewall, service, IP tables, stop. That's all. Now how to configure NIS client? Go to the client system. So this is another system. Log into the client, which is you want to configure NIS slave, NIS client. Now open the terminal. Now just run the command setup. To set up the NIS client, run the command setup. It is the text-based utility. So first one, authentication configuration, already selected, press enter. So here you can have the option, select use NIS, press space bar, selected use NIS. Now next, sorry, before going to do that, you have to configure the domain name, va/etc sysconfig network. Otherwise again we have to come back and we have to write the step. India.com. So you have to write this step first. Then you can use the setup command. So next, so it will not show. See here, it will not show. So go back, cancel, quit. Now you can run this one. Setup, authentication, use NIS. Next, see automatically came India.com. So now server IP address, my master server IP address 192.168.0.18. Okay. So if it is taking this much of time means it is going to be failed. So immediately you can get the same setup utility. See, failed. So again I am trying. See here, IP address we are not given properly. 192.168.0 is missed. So we have to check properly. See, immediately will come. Quit. Now, how to communicate with the master server? They will ask the question, YP which? See, server 18 is communicating. Now, NIS client successfully configured. Now I can check from here. NIS users information, YP cat, pass WD. See, all the users they can convert as the NIS user, but we created a new user NIS1. See, it is the displaying. So now, how the users can log in? So while they log into the servers, while they log in, not after login, while they log into the server, when it asks the username and password, so they have to give their username and password at logon screen. So when they given username and password, automatically their home directories will mount. How to mount? We have to tell the system how to mount the user home directories automatically. So NFS server, so we logged into the client, we mounted NFS shares. But while login, automatically they has to be going to be mount. So we have to set up auto FS here. Now show mount -e 192.168.0.18. Our user home directories are shared, but today Siva will log in, tomorrow Ramu will log in, day after tomorrow Raju will log in. So every user home directory to whom you log into the server, their home directory should be mounted on this particular system. So that is the reason you have to mount NFS share automatically. This is nothing but auto FS. You have to configure auto FS, automatically mount the file system. So by configuring auto FS, we can mount NFS shares automatically. This is on demand mounting. On demand means when you mount, it will mount. When you come out from that, automatically it will unmount. But normal NFS mount permanently will mount. This is on demand mounting. Now configure the auto FS. First we have the main configuration file vi/etc/auto.master. So go to last line, insert a new line. So local home directory, to which home directory you want to mount? Same directory Oracle. From where you have to mount, you have to tell. So this system you have to tell where the home directories, how to mount, we have to tell. So mount the home directories locally in Oracle directory. No need to create, automatically it will create. What has to be mount? Read the information in auto.oracle file. So here we are not telling from where you are mounting, just what you are telling, locally mount in Oracle directory. What I am going to mount? Read the file etc auto.oracle. So this file is not there. We are going to create now. Open vi/etc/auto.oracle. Now star means any user home directory can mount. From where? From NFS server 192.168.0.18. Where the user home directory /Oracle. In Oracle, which home directory? Which user? So many home directories are there under Oracle. Any user home directory, ampersand symbol. So star means locally indicated. Locally we given Oracle directory. In Oracle directory, any home directory can mount. From where? 192.168.0.18. Where the home directories? There only Oracle. So in Oracle, I have so many home directories. From there, which home directory? Ampersand. Any user, Ramu, Siva, Raj, whoever it may be. Save the file. Now, just you have to reboot the system. Now try to log in as a NIS server while the login screen came. So NIS one user located on the centralized server. So automatically he has to log in. If he log in properly, our configuration is properly done. This is the client system. NIS is located on server side. Here we have the NIS users. You can check cat/etc/passwd. So NIS1 user located on server side. Now from client side, he is directly logging. Now see, this is the login screen. Click on other. Username NIS1. See, NIS1 is not there here. NIS1 is centralized server. NIS1, give the password. Now see, centralizedly logged in. The user account is located on server side. But from any client, you can use your username and password, which is the client of NIS. Now right click, open terminal. So you can check pwd/oracle/NIS1. This is your profile. So like this you can work. Centralizedly, it is stored on the server side. Like this. Okay. This is NIS server. Now, how to configure NIS slave server? Login as a root user. See, you can take any one of the NIS client. You can set up NIS slave server. It is simply just a small command. First install the IP server package. RPM-IVH IP server. So already domain name you configured, everything is configured. So just you can run the command. Go to var yp directory, var yp/usr lib64/yp/yp init -s means slave server, from where the NIS maps will copy. So server 18. So automatically it transfers the NIS map files from server to this slave server. Copy, transferring. Server 30's NIS database has been set up. Now go to we are already in the var yp directory, ls, go to india.com, check the maps are transferred or not. So maps are transferred. So it takes the load of the master server. Like this, we can set up the NIS server. See, by default, when you joined in a company, DNS server and NIS master servers, NIS servers already has been set up in the environment. In real time scenarios, if you go for an interview, you cannot tell to the interviewer, I configured DNS, I configured NIS. You cannot tell. But how do you know the configuration? You have to explain these steps. So you have to write in your resume also, managing and maintaining DNS server, managing and maintaining this NIS server. So Apache web server you can write configuring and managing, because number of websites we are going to configure, that is a continuous process. So NFS servers also, depending upon the requirement, you can configure, because you are writing the sharings, you are removing the sharings. That will come under configuration part. FTP also you can configure number of FTP servers you can put. Samba server also you can put number of Samba servers. But DNS is fixed. NIS is fixed. 3 DNS servers, 4 DNS servers we are not going to configure. Only one master DNS, only one master NIS. So you have to tell in interview, and you have to write in your resumes, managing and maintaining only for these two servers, DNS and NIS. Remaining servers you can write configuring and managing. So this is the NIS server concept. So next class we are going to discuss DHCP and Kickstart server in single class. Those are the small topics. Then we have RAID levels. One concept is there. Then our course will be complete. So we have the topics left: DHCP, Kickstart server, and this Linux RAID levels. And I will show you also some monitoring commands in Linux in our last class, RAID levels class. after completion of RAID level class. So I will show you the frequently used monitoring commands in Linux. Okay, next class we are going to discuss DHCP and Kickstart server. Okay, thank you.